Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, February 4th through Sunday, February 10th, 2019. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Angel Tarot deck by Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, comes from a brand new deck I just purchased called Messages from the Light by Joyce Huntington. So we're into a new month of energy. So just to get the big picture of the whole month of February, the numerological vibration, the highlight of the astrological transits, be sure to go to my YouTube channel under Colleen Lemma and watch the February angel card message for the month. Now, for this week, let's go ahead and take a look at your stones of choice. So your first stone of choice for that special message card is this beautiful golden healer. And that's what it's actually called. It's actually called a golden healer. And this particular stone helps to clear out blockages and imbalances that help to ready the body for multidimensional healing. And it opens your consciousness to receive information and guidance from higher dimensions. Your second stone of choice, one of my favorites, a beautiful piece of selenite. This is a mini selenite wand, if you will. And the selenite is higher crown chakra, opening the crown chakra to higher vibrational energies and messages from the universe. It's also a stone to help you get in touch with angelic guidance and receive angel messages, helping you to also get in touch with both past as well as future lifetime energies. And then your last stone of choice is this beautiful Sonora Sunrise Sunset Chrysocolla. I hope you can see the beautiful blues and reds that are in here, which is why it's called Sunrise Sunset. And this is actually, of course, relating to the throat chakra and the root chakra because of those colors, which throat chakra is speaking your truth clearly and authentically. Root chakra, it tends to be for stability or dealing with manifesting security. This stone also offers a strong connection between the inner and outer self, along with the energies of the cosmos, and promotes the spiritual power to awaken the hidden talents of the self. So again, your stones of choice are the golden healer, the selenite, or the sunrise sunset chrysocolla. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about for a moment the astrological energies for this month. Now again, this is the first full week of February. Of course, we had part of February in last week's reading, but we were also winding up the January energies. And of course, I've mentioned it many times before. January really, started off that first month of the new year started off with a bang with a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse and Uranus turning direct. Now, as we're moving into February, we have this energy of, again, giving you a little highlight of the monthly reading. February vibrates to a 14 energy. If we add that up, that's a karmic number, and it deals with energies from previous lifetime experiences. It deals with needing to make changes, but also needing to have patience before those changes unfold or before we move forward. Now, we actually start out with a new moon this week. Now, it's not an eclipse energy, but it's actually an important new moon. It's on Monday the 4th, the first day of the week, and this new moon is at 15 degrees of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is a sign, it's an air sign, so it deals with all types of thoughts and ideas and social interaction and networking. It's a sign of groups, coming together with groups of people that share a common goal or ideal. Those of like mind. And the 15 degree of this new moon is somewhat important because it's the middle degree. Every sign of the zodiac has 30 degrees in it. So we start at a 0 degree of any sign and we go up to 30 degrees, which is really 0 degrees of the next sign. So 15 degrees is right in the middle. And this was just an intuitive thing that I got while I was meditating on this week before starting the video and, choosing the cards and whatnot for the reading, is they said that this was like a turning point or a crossroads. Actually, that was the term they used. Because this moon is at 15 degrees, the middle degree of Aquarius, they said it's kind of like a crossroad energy, almost like you're standing at a crossroads to where you could go left or you could go right. There's two different paths, and you're needing to really come into a state almost of balance, as I use that term again with that vibration of February in general. We need to have this balance energy within our body, our mind, our heart, our soul, in order to make decisions to move forward, to choose, what is our next step or what road am I going to go down, because you're at this, again, that crossroad energy. Now this new moon also happens to fall on or around the time period here that Saturn is at 15 degrees of Capricorn. Now that's the sign before, but remember that solar eclipse that we had on January 5th? That January 5th solar eclipse was at 15 degrees of Capricorn. Now Saturn is at 15 degrees of Capricorn on that solar eclipse degree on the day, give or take a day or two either way, because Saturn moves slowly, but it's on that degree of the solar eclipse on the day of the new moon at 15 degrees of Aquarius. So I feel like that's really significant, and that in part, especially right before the new moon on Monday. So if you're watching this a little bit early, as I often publish this on Friday or Saturday, if you're watching this early as we go through that dark of the moon time before the new moon on Monday, and Saturn is at that solar eclipse degree of 15 degrees Capricorn, it's really going to dredge up some old karmic stuff, because Saturn rules karmic patterns or karmic energy. And he's the teacher of lessons. He's known as the great teacher, which teaches us through those karmic lessons. And so there may be some things that come up from the past, whether this is the past in this lifetime or the past in previous lifetimes. It's dredging things up, and it might feel a little challenging with Saturn on that eclipse degree. Now also this new moon at 15 degrees of Aquarius, it's conjuncting or connecting with Mercury, which is in Aquarius. So this is highlighting communications and ideas. It's also making what's called a sextile aspect to Jupiter, which is in Sagittarius. Jupiter likes to expand energies, and Jupiter is known as the bringer of blessings. So with the connection to Mercury and Jupiter, I feel like there's some positive energies here in the form of messages, communications, networking with others, something that's growing and expanding into like what do I want to say? Again, this blessing, abundance, prosperity energy of Jupiter. Jupiter likes to, especially in Sagittarius, his home sign, see the big picture of things. Now, the new moon is also, though, making a semi-square to Saturn, which again, we said Saturn was at 15 degrees of Capricorn on one side of that Aquarius, and making a semi-square to Neptune, which is on the other side of Aquarius, Pisces. Now, semi-squares can bring some irritating and slightly challenging energies. So I feel like rather than getting stuck in the rut of Saturn or getting too lofty and up in the clouds of Neptune, we need to kind of try to stay again in that balanced energy of the present moment and, listen to the messages that we're getting. Now, on Tuesday the 5th, there's no astrological influence with the planets, but Tuesday the 5th of February is the first day of the new Chinese year. And the Chinese New Year is the year of the pig, or some say the year of the boar. And just briefly with the year of the pig now, for the next year, the year of the pig is known to bring in like energies of more confidence and luck and success. And so that's a very positive as well, as we're again entering that new moon phase. On the 6th of February, Uranus enters the 29th degree of Aries, which is again that last degree of Aries before he moves into Taurus. Now he will be there for a while because Uranus is very slow moving, but the 29th degree of any sign is a critical degree. And again, it's kind of really intensifying the energies of whatever planet happens to be in whatever sign. So here again, we have Uranus in Aries at the 29th degree. starting on the 6th. Now, I didn't mention this in the last week or two, but Chiron has also entered the 29th degree of Pisces in the last week or two. So both of these planets are intensifying in its energies. And just briefly, Chiron at 29 degrees of Pisces is kind of intensifying our past life wounds and wounds of the collective in general. A lot of bleed through energies from past life and other spiritual dimensions, and the opportunity, the great opportunity for healing. That's what Chiron brings, is the opportunity to heal those wounds. Uranus at the 29th degree of Aries is highlighting this independence, freedom, change, redirection, expecting the unexpected to kind of come in. And of course, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, the sign of new beginnings, initiation, forging a new trail or going down a new path. So it's highlighting those energies as well. Now on Thursday and then through Saturday, we have a lot of sextile energies, which I don't normally talk about, but because there were so many of them, I wanted to mention them, because sextiles are aspects of opportunities. However, we have to recognize, be aware, and recognize the opportunities to be able to utilize the energies of the planets involved in those aspects and then make something happen for ourselves. The Sun is sextile Jupiter, Mercury is sextile Mars, and Mercury is then sextile Uranus. So again, there's a lot of opportunities here for new ideas, networking with other people, messages coming in from other people, as well as perhaps from our angels and guides and universe. That's all that Mercury energy connecting to Mars and Uranus. And of course, Mars and Aries to move forward. So these messages are coming in to help us to move forward. The Sun is in Aquarius, sextiling Jupiter in Sagittarius. So this is fire and air. In fact, all of these sextile aspects are with fire and air planets. And what happens when we put fire and air together? It makes bigger fire, and fire is creative energy, it's spiritual energy. So really use your thoughts, your ideas, your imagination, your visualization. That's what's going to fuel things to move forward and to start happening. And then on Sunday the 10th, Mercury is now moving out of Aquarius, and it's moving into the sign of Pisces, where it's going to be for approximately 3 weeks. Mercury, again, the planet of the mental realm, ruling our thoughts, our ideas, our communications, and moving into a water sign. So it's going to become much more fluid, much more changeable, much more intuitive, much more psychic, if you will. But also, again, open to change and fluctuation, and sometimes maybe confusion or not seeing things clearly or even communicating clearly. Now, on the Sunday the 10th also, and I wanted to mention this, the moon is going to be in Aries, and the moon moves so fast through the zodiac that it triggers the planetary energies, the planets that it touches. It kind of triggers those energies. And it's going to connect with both Mars and then later in the day, Uranus, which are both in Aries and are coming together to conjunct. Not this week, but I believe it's next week. Mars and Uranus are going to come together in Aries. So we're going to see a lot of things starting to be initiated, or a lot of action, or a lot of redirection, a lot of maybe strange and unexpected occurrences, things that come out of the blue. With Mars, the warrior, planet of initiation, planet of moving forward, energy, action, and Uranus, which again just kind of brings that lightning bolt of intuition, or that quick, sudden, fast redirection or change into our lives. The moon connecting with Mars and Uranus is going to tip that off even before they come together. So in other words, I feel like people are going to be more emotionally reactive, and there could also be some events and happenings even before Mars connects with Uranus that brings some sort of redirection or change. Okay, so that was all quite a mouthful. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the cards and see what our angels and guides have to say for the week. Okay, so interesting, we start out with Major Arcana number 14, and this card is known as Balance in this deck with Archangel Zadkiel. Now in the traditional tarot, this is the Temperance card. Now, isn't it interesting that I said the month of February numerologically is a 14 vibration, because we're in a 12 universal year. 2019 adds up to a 12, and we add the second month of February to that number 12, and we get 14. So here we start out this week with 14, and we talked about balance, and we talked about needing to stay in a kind of balanced state before making decisions and moving forward. Now the message at the bottom of this card says the need for balance and moderation, and then it says cooperation and compromise, and wait for perfect timing. So we're having a new moon at the beginning of this week, but as I said, that new moon is connecting to Saturn by semi-square, and also Saturn at 15 degrees of Capricorn is on that solar eclipse degree, that new moon solar eclipse. So it's activating that energy of new beginnings that we had back in January. And we're at the new moon this week, so activating again another cycle of new beginnings. But here we're being asked to stay balanced and wait a little bit. So I don't know that things are going to unfold very quickly. There's going to be, more information that needs to come in, or some sort of changes that need to happen, or some sort of initiation energy that needs to come in before we perhaps move forward. So that's very interesting that we have that card here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second card. Okay, another major arcana, and this is major arcana 2, the High Priestess with Archangel Haniel. Now, first thing I recognize with this is the number 2, and in numerology, the number 2 is also about balance. And so there's a strong message here of needing to stay balanced physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually as we move forward on our path. And the number 2 in numerology 2 is almost a number of patience as well. It's about moving forward, but staying balanced as you're moving forward slowly and carefully to see kind of how things unfold. It's a number to where we're needing to stay in a peaceful state of existence. It's a very feminine vibration too, so we have a very feminine energy here, even though the Aquarius new moon, Aquarius is a masculine sign, so that's interesting, which brings in that balance again. We're balancing the masculine and the feminine. Now the message at the bottom of this card says, listen to your intuition, have patience. There's that patience again. So that's a strong message as well. Have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. Now the High Priestess, a very powerful feminine energy, Archangel Haniel. Just as the priestess energy is all about, Archangel Haniel is about our healing gifts, our psychic gifts, our intuitive gifts. The priestess is this goddess energy or divine feminine energy that's all knowing, that's all powerful, and she's got the book of knowledge here in one hand. So here she's holding the book of knowledge. One might say a connection to the Akashic records, her Akashic records, so that she has a knowingness of past life situations, past life belief systems, past life patterns, situations that she needs to move through in an empowering sense through her intuition, through her intuitive gifts, that she's able to make the appropriate decisions. But again, that message of having patience comes in here. So again, I feel like whatever this new beginning with this new moon is all about, it may take a few days, perhaps even a few weeks, before we know how things are going to start to unfold. Of course, we're still under that eclipse energy, probably until the next set of eclipses, which isn't until July. So with these eclipses of January, with the endings and new beginnings of those eclipses, we're still in the unfolding of all of that energy as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last card. Wow, it's another major arcana. This is interesting. So what happens when we have a lot of major arcana as opposed to the minor arcana? When we have minor arcana cards coming up in a reading, it's about everyday aspects of life, career, work, money, kids, home, family, things happening on an earthly level. But when we have major arcana, a lot of major arcana coming up in a reading, like in this one, this is about soul growth and evolution. This is about our souls and having an awareness of the connectedness to our divine truth, to our higher self, to Great Spirit, universe, God, all that is. This is about us growing as a soul It's moving through certain energies so that we can have more of an awareness and an awakening of consciousness. So this is a big week of some soul level movement and healing and understanding and awareness. But this is Major Arcana number 17, the Star card, with Archangel Jophiel. And of course, the Star card in the traditional tarot is all about making future plans for your hopes and your dreams and your wishes. But again, it has that kind of futuristic aspect to it, as if it's not quite there yet, it's not quite happening in the present moment, which so far these previous cards of the Balance card and the High Priestess talk about waiting or having patience before moving forward. This too has that kind of feel to it where we're getting ready for something, but it's not quite here yet. Now the message at the bottom says, happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans, and you're on the right path. So I'm getting a flash here that these new beginnings, we're going to start to see the manifestation of them when we're at the spring equinox, when the sun moves into Aries and we have that when we have the Aries new moon. Okay, so when the sun goes into Aries and we have the Aries new moon, within a couple of months is when we're going to see some of these new beginnings really starting to unfold in a tangible way. So right now, with this new moon in Aquarius, kind of that sign that does rule our hopes, dreams, and wishes for the future, and we have the Star card, which is about making long-term plans for the future. This is like initiating that energy, initiating the thought process, the imagination process, maybe even a redirection process. There might be some sort of actions that are taken as we start to move in a different direction. Remember, we're kind of at that crossroads as far as that message that I got earlier. But this is a very positive card. These, in fact, are all very positive cards and very powerful cards here. So I'm really excited about this first full week of February. There's a lot of blessings coming in. If you see the Star card with Archangel Jophiel, of course, the water bearer of Aquarius, is kind of what this reminds me of, obviously. And that's usually what the Star card shows is an angel or a figure, a woman that is pouring out this vessel of water. And this water, to me, and she's got two vessels in her hand, they're both outflowing with water, are showing the blessings from the universe that are going to be bestowed upon us as we make these new plans for our new direction and for our future, so to speak. So one of the keys is to stay positive, stay balanced, and listen for the divine guidance of the High Priestess. Okay, so now let's use this brand new deck that I just literally opened actually earlier today. This Messages from the Light meditation deck. Okay, so for those of you that chose the Golden Healer, I'm going to choose this card here. Possibilities. Ooh, beautiful. I was peeking when I was shuffling earlier before starting the video. This is one of the cards I did see earlier, and I thought, oh, that's a beautiful card. So, in this week, you're open to many possibilities, okay? I feel like, again, nothing's set in stone. You might have some ideas of where you want to go next or what you want to manifest next, but I feel like you need to be open to redirection, or you need to be open to change. You need to be open to the blessings from the universe, because something even better than what you're imagining or what you're working towards may still yet come in. And I feel like there's a lot of energy behind these blessings from the universe that are coming in. You almost have to be in an aspect of surrender. So I would say to the Golden Healer people, surrender, allow, receive. Those are the key words that come in. Surrender, allow, receive. You have to be in a receptive mode to receive the blessings of the universe. You have to surrender to whatever the universe is bestowing upon you, because again, it might be even better than what you'd imagined. It almost looks like a slight bit of a rainbow there as she's got her arms outspread and there's all these rays of light coming in. It almost looks like that rainbow energy between her hands. So again, the hope, the hopes, dreams, and wishes coming to fruition. I feel like meditation would be very helpful, not just meditation, but visualization in your meditation. I feel like all those rays of light coming in from all directions is like the universal energies coming in from all directions as you're imagining and visualizing all these wonderful potentials and possibilities and blessings that the universe is going to be bestowing upon you as we move through this week and even into the weeks ahead for you. All right. And then for those of you that chose the selenite, let's give these a little shuffle. Selenite people, this one's kind of showing itself. Protection. Okay, beautiful. So here's some energy. There's some red, orange, yellow, and yellow-white kind of in here. So we're talking about the lower chakras, aspects of security, aspects of protection, aspects of creative self-expression, feeling passion for what you're doing and where you're going in life, or just feeling passion for life in general. And then, of course, solar plexus, your center for personal power, feeling confident, feeling courageous, uplifted. And of course, that light in the middle, it looks very much like an angel. So there's definitely that angelic protection and guidance that you have as you're traversing the aspects of life. That's kind of how I feel when I see the colors of this card is, whether it be career, family, money matters, relationship matters, all those things that we deal with on an earthly level from a third dimensional perspective, that you're being protected as you're traversing things. I feel like some of you maybe have gone through some challenges or are currently going through some challenges, maybe with circumstances and situations, maybe with your own emotional ups and downs. But this is definitely saying that your angels and guides are definitely guiding you. So know that there's that divine protection and guidance happening for you, and know that everything is happening for a reason, that you're being led for a reason. I almost get a slight sense when I look at this that, and I don't know if it really is planetary energy or not, but I see like a ball here, and I see like almost, it looks like a planet down here. So I feel like there's something about the astrology, the new moon, perhaps the full moon that's going to come up in a couple of weeks, that there's something important to pay attention to with the astrological energies and astrological aspects. Okay? All right. And then for those of you that chose the Sonora Sunrise Sunset Chrysocolla, let's give this a little bit of a shuffle. And well, I have, this one and this one. I have to say, there's two of them that's calling my attention. So let's go ahead and look at this one. Heart opening. Okay, so there's a heart chakra opening that's happening. Right away they showed me Chiron being in that critical degree, that 29th degree. So Chiron, the wounded healer, wherever it is in your chart, there's this heart chakra opening that's happening. And when our heart chakra is open, we're more in a state or a space to love ourselves, but also more in a state or space to exude unconditional love and compassion towards other people. So if you have, they're even saying some of you might even feel some physical, like things in your chest. Physical, you might think they're like pains in your chest, or what's going on with my heart or something like that. That's part of the heart chakra opening, they're saying. So don't be alarmed if you're feeling that. I feel like, this is the lotus flower, and again, there's a strong kind of energy here towards loving yourself, respecting yourself, honoring yourself. So I feel like some of you may be needing to set better boundaries for yourself in certain situations or relationships, and realize that unconditional love has to start with you. Now let's look at that next card, listening. Okay, so you also have to listen to your heart. Listen to where your heart wants to go. And, there's talking about some of you in relationships. And when I say that, your heart may want to go in a certain direction with a certain person. But listen to the higher message. The higher message isn't necessarily that you want to be with this person, although your ego, your personality and ego wants to be with this person. But your higher heart, your higher soul is trying to give you the message of you desire and deserve unconditional love, and you deserve respect and support and communication and listening from other people, and all the things that we want in a relationship is that you're worthy and deserving of. And so that's the message they want you to listen to. And if you're not getting it, and there's no ability for that other person to give it to you, and of course everybody's on their own path, but you have to learn to love yourself. Whoops, I almost turned it over. To love yourself and respect yourself in a way, to listen to the message that you're getting. Now, some of you others that aren't dealing with relationship stuff, this is about just listening to the messages from Spirit and the guidance that your angels and guides are giving you with whether it's home, family, career, life path, whatever that is. So do more meditation and allow your thoughts, to kind of come in. Listen to your body, and how it feels. So really start listening with your heart to what those messages from Spirit are all about. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Thank you all so much for your support, for subscribing to my channel, for your comments, for sharing my videos with other people, for your responses on Facebook with my Facebook posts, for visiting my website, Sacred Soul Empowerment, and checking out my services and all I have to offer. I want to send you all a lot of love and many blessings of love and light to all.